Alright, my beautiful baldies, we're back with One Punch Man Chapter 194. Saitama vs. Flashy Flash is here. I am so pumped to talk about this with you guys because I have been waiting for this fight. Sonic returns to the One Punch Man manga finally after he ate a monster cell and then disappeared for a while. And Blast returns, the best of all, which means next chapter we're going to get more information about God and tie this all up together, so I'm super pumped about that. Without further ado, hit that like button to help me out with the algorithm and promote the video, and let's start with the cover page featuring a Halloween Tatsumaki, you can't help but love her, giving us that holiday lolly action. So as we saw at the end of the last chapter, Flashy Flash barged into Saitama's home and told him, I want to train you, I want to be your master, you have a lot of power and potential, but you have no skill, so come out here and fight me. If I win, you'll become my disciple, and if I lose, I'll never ask you again. So Saitama's down because Flashy Flash has been bothering him nonstop, so he's like, fine, let me just beat you real quick, and so you'll go away. Now we know that Flashy Flash is insanely fast, like literally light speed. He fought against Garo, Awakened Garo, before he got his cosmic form and Platinum Mask. He was able to go toe-to-toe with both of them in that crazy sky spectacle battle during the Monster Association arc. So we know he's incredibly fast, but we did also see that Blast is even faster than him, which is pretty wild. The fight starts and Saitama just like blinks right in front of Flashy Flash, which is crazy, just showing his speed, and Flashy Flash dodges and starts to go all out with his crazy speed ninja moves. Dragon Thrust Kick, Falling Moon Palm, Spinning Top Slide, Falling Leaves Barrage, Misty Mantle. So it all has something to do with, ninja, leaves, water, trees, moon, that sort of stuff. I particularly like the Falling Leaves Barrage. That looks pretty cool. Of course, it's not going to do anything to Saitama. Blue Tempest Fist, Windblade Kick, Flowing Shadow Feet, Ultimate Technique, Flashy Fist. So as Flashy Flash is throwing his ultimate technique, the Flashy Fist, Saitama comes in with a death punch of all things. And it's at this point Flashy Flash knew he effed up. On the F around and find out scale, my boy just hit the peak. So the battle gets interrupted. Flash Flash was somehow able to, it kind of looks like he dodged it, but Saitama got distracted as well by Genos, who said, sorry to interrupt, there's a monster attack. Flashy Flash is sweating like crazy, saying, I didn't even have time to use a forbidden move, so it's trying to tell us that he's holding back a little bit. By the way, it appears that he has his sword again. Like, which sword is this? If you look, he has the sheath. Is it still broken? His sword insta-kill, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Did I miss something? In any case, they all run off together. Flashy Flash trying to gloat that Saitama couldn't land a hit on him, saying they'll postpone the match for later. Genos is like, what are you talking about? You're gonna ignore how much you're sweating? Saitama says, Genos, guide the way. If we follow him, we'll get lost. So Saitama really doesn't like Flashy Flash too much. So we go over to E City, where we see a group of monsters and a bunch of A and B class heroes trying to fight them. And these guys, this just cracked me up. They're called the Internet Surfers, disaster level demon. They got excessively bullied on the internet, and that turned them into monsters. So this is hilarious. I think this is Murata's way of kind of like firing back at the internet trolls that probably reply to him on Twitter and stuff like that. But it also makes sense within the continuity of the One Punch Man world because they're personifying like what is consuming them in life. But that's when we see Sonic finally come back to the manga. It has been forever since we've seen him. And interestingly, he still looks human. I believe the last time we saw him, he ate a monster cell and nothing happened. And he even says in this chapter, it just upset his stomach a little bit. So I'm incredibly curious about that. Is it because Orochi is dead? The monster cell was dead that he ate, so it didn't do anything? That could potentially have something to do with it. Maybe it will hit him like later on. I believe that's probably what's going to happen. Because I've always kind of wondered, like, what is the whole point of this character Sonic? The exception of him being a ninja and tying into Flashy Flash and giving us this ninja arc, which we have just entered. I've always kind of wondered what the point of him is. I think that he's eventually, that monster cell will turn him into some sort of like super monster ninja. I doubt he'll ever give a, challenge to Saitama, but he could to Genos and Flashy Flash. Potentially this would be the Flashy Flash arc finale, I guess. So we see that Sonic locks eyes with Flashy Flash, and if you're not a webcomic reader, you would have been like, hey, yeah, these guys are both ninjas, right? Like, shouldn't they know each other? And it turns out that they do. They were both raised in the ninja village. And then we see Hellfire and Gale come back, but they're dead, or they're supposed to be. The last time we saw these guys, we had this incredible combat sequence and a few chapters of Flashy Flash versus these two guys. They went into their monster forms, and it was absolutely insane. At the end, Flashy Flash used his ultimate technique and sliced them both in half, but it appears that they either survived, perhaps the exact same way that they survive in this chapter, or they came back to life somehow. Phoenix Man, some sort, they're saying it wasn't because their monster abilities allow them to, reconnect and regenerate like that. So maybe they'll explain it later, but in any case, they're alive. So there's 4 ninjas alive now, and they're asking for Sonic's help in taking out Flashy Flash. Sonic says, I'm not gonna help you because the monster cell you gave me was rotten and it upset my stomach. And the interesting thing is they said, it was fresh though. So I think, again, trying to tell us that it's not because Orochi died. I think that for some reason it's gonna activate late in Sonic. Gale and Hellfire are talking about the Ninja Village, and we get a little flashback of both Sonic and Flashy Flash, and we get to see the Ninja Village, a little bit of it. And also, Flashy Flash seems to remember one of the God Cubes is hidden in the Ninja Village, which is very, very exciting because between this and Blasphemy at the end of the chapter, obviously we're gonna get more into God in the next chapter, and Flashy Flash will probably communicate something about this cube with Blast, unless Blast has already gone and got it for some reason, because we know he's going around the world collecting them. But if you are a webcomic reader, you know that this is leading into a very exciting fight. It was teased after the Garo fight, as we saw that Blast has been fighting God for 20 years, and he has been doing so with an ally that surprisingly looks like a ninja. So lots and lots of cool stuff is coming for sure. Saitama blows up all of the internet troll monsters. Genos helps out and Flashy Flash helps out. Flashy Flash goes after Hellfire and Gale. It looks like he slices them in half, but he says that they got away. They used the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, turned into logs, and ran away. So maybe that's how they survived. Maybe that's what they're telling us, is this is how they survived the first time, but it didn't really seem like that, unless Phoenix Man brought them back to life. And it appears that Sonic got smashed into the ground yet again. So because Flashy Flash is looking for Monako, Saitama tells Flashy Flash, look, I don't want to teach you anything, I don't want to learn anything, just everybody needs to leave me alone. And what Sonic, Flashy Flash, and Genos think is, for some reason, that Saitama is lacking confidence. But it's more so that Saitama is just lazy. He doesn't want, it's too much hassle. And strangely out of character, with the exception of Genos, everybody kind of just starts complimenting Saitama, and he's just like, these guys will never understand. So he escapes, he goes over to King, and he's like, hey, have you seen Monako? And interestingly enough, when King went to Bang to do his training, we saw Monako. So they go over, they catch him with this silly little trap, and they want to know everything that Monako knows about God. But Monako doesn't really know anything, because Monako's just this weakling little low-tiered monster. The way it's responding doesn't seem like it knows anything. I'm not really sure what the point of this character is, but there's gotta be something. And maybe we'll learn next chapter because it is manga specific. But lo and behold, they go down this elevator in the Hero Association and boom, Blast is there. Sitch was able to just introduce them to Blast, I guess because he's here on Earth at the current moment. As we know, Blast is constantly traveling around different dimensions and throughout the universe, fighting God. So he rarely comes to Earth, but he's here now, coincidentally, and they're gonna talk to him. So this is a super exciting chapter. We're gonna dive into God next chapter. So I'm crazy pumped, and we also are gonna learn more about the Ninja Village and the ultimate enemy coming there. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below, and I'll see you for the next One Punch video.